What's up everyone, welcome back to Quadrant Boss. Today's video is about checkmating an opponent in less than 5 moves. Unlike in conventional chess, you can checkmate an opponent in just 2 moves. Mathematically, it's impossible to do this in 1 versus 1, but it's doable in 4-player chess. Just a reminder that I'll be covering about free-for-all mode in most videos, commonly known as FFA. But the tactics you're about to see work in FFA and team mode. Before starting, I would like to ask you to subscribe in case you haven't. By subscribing, you're helping to grow this channel. Now, let's get started! First, let's take a look on 2 moves made. In 4PC, most openings are based on pushing a pawn to open a path for the queen and for the bishop. There are 2 ways to checkmate in 2 moves. The first one, I call it double queen straight line. Red starts the game by opening a path for the queen and for the bishop. Blue makes the same move, but only 1 square. Yellow does the same as red, then green opens a path only for the queen by moving the pawn 1 square. After that, red takes out the knight, and blue suddenly checks red. Yellow pushes a pawn for the bishop, then green checkmates red with the queen! That was quick, isn't it? If you see that diagonal square tower the king wide open, and the enemy at the opposite side of the board just checked the king, then it's a chance to get 20 points. You just need to find the diagonal path toward the king and an opponent to back you up for the mate. Oh, don't get me wrong, this is FFA, but there are players doing this on purpose. I will explain about this later in the video. For now, let's focus on how to do quick mates. The second method, I call it bishop connected mate. Red begins the game by moving the pawn, blue does the same, but 2 squares. Yellow makes a path for the queen, green does the same, but only 1 square. Now, red takes out the bishop, and blue pushes another pawn. Then yellow checkmates green! When I play for PC in chess.com and checkmate an opponent in 2 moves, I feel like it was an easy 20 points. Yes, it sounds easy, but it won't be free. I will explain about this later as well. Now, let's learn how to checkmate in 3 moves. There are 2 ways to achieve. The first one, I labeled it as double queen diagonal mate. Red starts the game by pushing the pawn to promote it into a queen. On the other hand, blue pushes the pawn in front of the rook, yellow does the same as red, and green opens a path for the bishop. Then red keeps pushing the pawn, and blue opens the path for the queen. Yellow protects the diagonal path from green's bishop, and green opens a path for the queen as well. Red is getting closer to the 8 square, where the pawn will be promoted into a queen. Blue moves the queen, and yellow opens a path for the bishop. Then green surprises the red by delivering a checkmate! Yes, it's a surprise, isn't it?
Come on. Surprise, surprise.
Here's a second method. Red begins the game in a typical way, same for blue, yellow, and green. Then red makes a path for the queen, and so blue does. Then yellow takes out the bishop, and green does the same move as red. Then red delivers a checkmate to blue! As you notice, the checkmate was delivered the same way as 2 moves made, except it took 3 moves for 20 points. This could be labeled as bishop connected mate as well. Let's go straight to 4 moves made. There are 3 methods and 2 of them are very different compared to the previous ones. Starting with the first method, all players make the same move on the first turn, except green. Red moves the queen, blue is aiming at the rook, same for yellow, and green takes out the knight. Yellow pushes the pawn double square and blue takes out a knight as well. After that, yellow and green exchange pawn. Red suddenly checks green. Blue takes out the queen, which is aiming on green's rook. Now, what do you think yellow should do? It's simple. Yellow swallows green's rook and receives 20 points. I named this method as diagonal indirect queen mate because the checkmate was achieved indirectly by yellow. The second method is slightly similar to what you saw in 2 and 3 moves made. On the first move, everyone makes a path, and red keeps pushing the pawn for a second queen. Then yellow takes out the knight. Green simply pushes the pawn to attack the knight. Yellow is 2 moves away from the promotion. Blue moves a pawn just to ensure the rook's safety. Yellow evades the attack, and green opens a path for the queen. The red pawn is 1 step away from the 8 square, and blue surprises red by checkmating with the bishop! Unfortunately, the pawn failed to turn into a queen.
이러지가게네.
I named this queen's back bishop mate. I'm pretty sure you noticed that it's same as double queen's diagonal mate, except the checkmate is executed by the bishop and it took 2 more moves. The third method is aggressive. Red opens a path for the queen, blue on the other hand opens a path for the queen and the bishop. Yellow does the same move as red, then green moves the pawn in front of the rook. Red does the same thing as green, and blue is getting ready to hunt a rook. Yellow pretends to protect the pawn with the queen, and green opens a path for the queen. Red takes out the knight and blue moves the bishop. Now, can you predict yellow's next move? Pause the video to think and resume it when you figure it out.
A few moments later.
So, you found the answer? Yellow checks blue and green takes out the knight, and red checkmates blue with the queen and blue is out from the game. Red got 21 points because when you deliver a checkmate and capture a piece simultaneously, the piece that you take counts as a point. I call this checkmate as surrounded queen's mate. We cover from 2 to 4 moves mate, and here's a simple formula that you need to remember. 1. Open a path for the queen. To checkmate an opponent quickly, you must open a path for the queen because as you realize, 90% of the checkmates that I just demonstrated were executed by a queen. When you see a diagonal path toward the king on one of your sides, and aligned with the opponent's queen at the opposite side of the board, then you can get 20 points. Also, if the enemy who plays right after you hasn't blocked your queen, then it's a chance that you can get 20 points. 2. Going after a player who is checked. If the player facing you checked the opponent with the queen or a bishop, whether it's on your right or left side, then it's an indication that you can checkmate. Keep in mind that the sequence can vary, but the concept is the same. Remember the positioning of the quick mates. In some cases, it can take more than 4 moves. You just have to be patient for a blind spot. After checkmating a player with your queen, whether it's on your right or left side, you probably realize that you will lose your queen. Wait a minute. Before going deeper, you probably have 2 questions. Why do some players help an enemy for a quick mate even though they are not getting 20 points? And is it worth it to quickly mate someone by sacrificing your queen? Let me answer the first question. The main reason is to make the game easier for them. By helping to eliminate a player, there will be only 3 players on the board, and the path toward the 8 square will be wide open. The second reason is for strategic advantage. It is true that the player helping an enemy to achieve a checkmate doesn't benefit, except obtaining 9 points from the queen. But by capturing a queen, that player will have a tactical and strategical superiority. Straight to the second question. Is it worth it to gain 20 points by sacrificing your queen? Absolutely yes! As I mentioned in the video 10 common mistakes that beginners make, losing a queen doesn't mean losing the game. After your queen dies, the best move is to push your pawns toward the 8 square. The enemy facing you will do everything possible to prevent you having a queen, but that person won't be able to focus only on you because there are 3 players in total on the board, not 2. Your adversary could be distracted by other stuff in the base, so you would likely recover the queen you lost. In some cases, 2 players might attack you, so your priority will be defending your base, not trying to promote your pawns into a queen. However, don't forget that victory is never guaranteed. In some games, you might regret helping an enemy in achieving 20 points or sacrificing your queen for 20 points. In contrary, the result will indicate that the queen sacrifice or adding enemy paid off. In this video, we cover how to quickly checkmate an opponent in 2 to 4 moves. When you play for PC in chess.com, you should be able to apply this lesson. I just want to let you know that these mates only work against beginners and rarely on experienced players. And why? That's a video for next time. If you watched it until the end and still haven't subscribed, please do so. It only takes a click of a button or pressing the button with your finger on your phone. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up and you can leave a comment below as well. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video!